Hi there, this is Susan from Grief Heals. I wanted to start with a story today. And the story is about a client I worked with a few years ago um, whose mother died of COVID, and she wasn't there when she died. Even though she lived with her mother, she had been away for a few weeks. And she came home and found her mother dead and was beating herself up for not being there. Very, very hard on herself for not being there. And before I met her, about two months after her mother died, she went to visit her priest, and her priest told her to get over it, to just forgive herself and move on. Well, that didn't work very well because months later, I meet her, we start working together, and she's still feeling quite guilty that she wasn't there with her mom. So here's the lesson in that. There is no way we just decide to forgive, whether we're angry at ourselves or feeling guilty or regretful. There's no, we don't just decide to forgive ourselves. We also don't just decide to forgive um, other people who did not behave the way we wanted them to behave, either before the death or after. We don't just jump from, well, that's okay, so sure, you're forgiven. It doesn't work like that. What does work, because ultimately it would be lovely to get to a place of forgiveness. I'm not saying we should never forgive. What I'm saying is that there is a process from whatever happened, whatever you're angry about or regretful about or feeling guilty about, and whether that anger is directed at you or somebody else, it doesn't really matter. That there is a process one goes through. And all one can do to get to forgiveness is to cultivate an environment in which forgiveness becomes possible. Now, in the class I just finished on anger, regret, and guilt, we were talking about cultivating a sense of compassion and self-compassion as a step toward forgiveness. And I think that's really true. But you don't even have to think of the quality. You can just focus on your heart. And for grieving people, breathing in and out of the heart can be hard because heart hurts. So you might need to start with breathing in around the area of the heart. But just relaxing into the heart, letting the heart open. And when you're a grieving person with a broken heart, this isn't going to happen quickly. It's a very, and nor should you really be, I wouldn't even worry about this in the first few months. This is really 6 months and later, and often quite a bit later. But there's this, just creating an environment in your heart, that's where the forgiveness is going to come from, in your heart, that allows the forgiveness to emerge, rather than thinking forgiveness is going to come from your head and you're somehow just going to decide to forgive. I hope that makes sense, because I see so many people, just like my former client who, and her priest, who thinks you just kind of snap your fingers and decide and it's all over. I don't think it ever works like that. And I would encourage all of you to be very gentle with yourselves around this, and just very gradually and gently allow yourself to create an environment where forgiveness might be possible. And you might want to join the anger, regret, and guilt class next time I run it. You can sign up for my mailing list down in the description. All right. Hope this makes sense. Feel free to comment and let me know what if you disagree or whatever your thoughts are on it. I loved hearing it. So you take care. Bye bye.